Welcome everybody to the 9th annual Prince George Red Dress campaign. So we are going to welcome up our elder, hello Phyllis, who will do our opening and our welcome to her territory.
Good afternoon, my relatives and my friends. On behalf of our Chief and Council, our elders and our youth, we welcome you here today upon the unceded ancestral territory of Cleatley-Tenay. These are the lands where the rivers meet, where our ancestors have walked since time, and where their spirits continue to guide us. We gather here at the Red Dress Monument to honor the lives and the legacies of our women, our girls, our two-spirited relatives. We hold these red dresses, we carry those posters, we walk these highways so their voices can still be heard. I would like to take a moment to say a prayer. Creator, we turn first to the land beneath our feet, to the rivers that carry our stories, and to the ancestors whose footsteps still guide us. We give thanks for the breath in our lungs, the ground that holds us, and the strength that allows us to gather here today. As the red dresses move in the wind, may they remind us of presence, not absence, of spirit still near, still watching, still guiding. May their colors stand as a marker of love and memory, a reminder that they are not forgotten. May our steps be steady, may our hearts be strong, and may our voices rise together. We remember you, we honor you. We will not stop walking until justice is here. Amen. Red Dress Day began as a way to make visible what has been silent, the violence faced by Indigenous women, girls, and two-spirited people. These dresses stand empty, but they are not silent. They speak the names of our sisters, our mothers, our aunties, our daughters, and our friends. Each one reminds us of a life taken too soon, of the families left grieving and communities demanding change. I ask you all, carry these dresses with respect and pride. Walk with strength, and let your presence here be a message to the spirit of our loved ones. We see you, we love you, we will remember you. Masicho, may our steps together be steady, may our hearts be united, and may our voices carry far. Walk with strength, walk with love, walk together. Awetsa, Masi.
I'm not sure if I've seen our Chief, Darlene Logan. Darlene Logan, is she here? She wasn't sure if she was able to make it. Okay. The Prince George Red Dress Society would like to recognize and acknowledge that we are collectively gathered on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Late Tene Nation, where we live, learn, work, and collaborate together. Hello everybody. For those that do not know me, my name is Tammy Misey. I sit on the board along with these lovely ladies. My childhood best friend, Carrie Ann Gordon, should be here beside me, but she's not. Carrie Ann Gordon was only 26 years old when she vanished from Nanaimo. Hikers found her remains in spring of 1998 at the high water mark at the outflow of Little Lillooet Lake. In 2014, I attended the BC Federation of Labor, and that is where I learned of the Red Dress Art Project from the Métis artist Jamie Black. I walked into the convention center, and there were all these beautiful red dresses hanging from the ceiling. It was absolutely breathtaking. I went over, I had to find out, what is this all about? When I read the empty red dresses were to hold space for those that no longer were here, honoring their lives and legacies. It spoke to my heart in such a way that I knew I needed to do something, but I just didn't know what. Well, until I met Brenda. Brenda, who has been my support and has taught me and walked with me through this journey, and I want to thank you. You have been an MMIW advocate for many, many years, and this work is not easy. I would like to welcome Brenda Wilson.
Boy, this mic feels really heavy today. Like Tammy said, I've been an advocate for 31 years since my little sister went missing in 1994 in Smithers, BC. And since then, when we first started, there was absolutely no resources available. In 2016, when we gathered together here in Prince George, all the families of missing and murdered, we worked on a report on 33. We came up with 33 recommendations that still stand today, and we continuously work on those 33 recommendations. I just want to say that I want to put my hands up to all the families that came out today, because I know it's very difficult. As I repeat every year, I know our families struggle to get out of bed every day. They struggle to eat. They struggle to sleep because they miss their loved ones and they want to find justice for their loved ones. So if you know a family, reach out to them and assist, because there are days where they just don't want to be here. And it's a difficult time for those family members. So thank you so much to all the family members, to all the people that helped organize along with us. And I really want to put my hands out to the media, to Jonathan, woo-hoo, and Nick, is it Nick? CKPG Nick, and to other people that came out today. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Luann Montgomery. In 2010, my daughter Natasha Lynn Montgomery went missing here in Prince George. She was a mother. She's 23 years old, a mother of two, a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old at the time. 14 months after her disappearance, North District told me that she had been murdered by Canada's youngest serial killer, Cody Lejabaka. Cody murdered 3 women and a teenage girl. So in 2014, there was a trial. Cody was convicted. Although Cody was convicted, Natasha's the only victim whose remains have never been found to this day. A few years ago, Cody was transferred to medium security. So he did get a 25 years, a life sentence, but he was sentenced under the faint hope clause. So what that is after 25 years, he can apply for parole. In the event he is denied parole, he can reapply every 2 years after that. Yeah, so a big shock to my system when he's already moved. I think it was 2019, he was moved to medium security. It's almost like they're prepping him for an early release. So not long after Natasha went missing, I started getting some health problems. My doctor kept telling me not to stress. So I decided I'd go on a health journey. I did really well. I lost some weight. I was running, walking, exercising. And I went on a retreat and started talking about my daughter's case. And I got a tip. So I brought that tip back to North District. I did hear back, never got anything out of it, but I do know that they can't tell me certain things. So I just pray that I get her back in my lifetime. You know, her children need it. Her children have just graduated. They're adults now. You know, they've grown up without their mother. No place to go to mourn. But not long after that, I started stressing again, and it took a toll on my health. I got quite sick, was in a coma. It's taken me just about 2 years to get to where I am now. But it's important that we tell our stories. You know, Natasha's case is so old that if I don't bring it up, I don't keep that alive, I may never get tips, I may never find her. They can't interrogate him anymore since his conviction. All they can do is go and have a conversation with him in hopes that he will tell us where she is. So it's important that we do these things, tell our stories, and keep their memories alive. I think I'm just going to leave it there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luann and Brenda and Tammy for being here, right? For sharing the story of the family and friends who go missing, and some are found and some are not found. My own story, I'm Penelope Dawn Newdorf. I originate from Taylor, British Columbia. And when my sister's bestie came down from Taylor with her other friend, they were 17 years old. And this is April of 1988. So my first experience with someone going missing out of our life was then. Stacy Lynn Rogers and my sister and Serena went to the movie theater here, which is now the House of Ancestors. And she was never seen again. So the impact that made on my family, my sister, right, lost her bestie. So when Tammy came, and it was 9 years ago, sharing the Jamie Black story, the first year we were out at Gednessie, out at the Petrocam out past College Heights, and it was counted that there was 82 dresses that were filled, and the wind, and just, it was absolutely impactful. So thank you, Tammy, for seeing the vision and being able to share a voice for those who no longer have one. So thank you.
Thank you, Penelope. All right. So I'm going to ask everybody, if you can, to rise. We are going to have the Tapestry Singers come and sing "O Canada." And then they're going to flow right into the salmon song.
Wea, wea,
would like to welcome up Simon Yo, the City of Prince George. I need to acknowledge that the City of Prince George has always stepped up and supported this campaign right from the very first one. 9 years ago, we did this campaign on $500 that the City of Prince George gave us and let us use the park. That monument that we're at today, I need to ensure that you know that the City of Prince George donated that land for the monument, making space for anyone that has lost someone. So I'd like you to welcome our Mayor, Simon Yu.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, the organizers. And first of all, just want to acknowledge we are on the ancestral land of Klimi on whose land this event has taken place quite a few years now. 9 years in a row. It's a campaign. A lot of time when we use the word campaign, we start something, we have an end game, and then we have to try to finish a project. But this campaign, I think the final goal is that we will have no more missing children, men, boys, anywhere along any highway in Canada. I'm glad to hear that this campaign now has expanded beyond Highway 16 now to Highway 97, Highway 5 as well. And the situation out there is this. We still have people missing, kidnapping, missing children, especially missing Indigenous children. Still is a huge, huge problem and issue. We still have the Jack family's files. It's still open. We still cannot close that chapter either. Your support, your presence here, it gives hope. The hope, the journey of hope is that together as a community, together, city, Klimi and the Red Dress Society, we can make the difference. First of all, we need to let the people know there is a problem out there. By recognizing there's a problem, we may be able to find a solution, and to most importantly, and to find out the cause, the underlying issue. Why is this happening? Happening in Canada, happening here in BC, happening to our children. One missing is way too many. And just thank you everybody for your continued participation. And I'm looking forward to next year's event with you again. And hopefully we have a better result. We can report back to you guys. The problem is getting less, the problem is getting smaller. But the truth is, today I cannot say this is the case. So we need to continue to work together to find a way to end this campaign in a positive way. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to say thank you on behalf of the Prince George Red Dress Society, a little token of our thank you, Simon. Thank you. So I would like to welcome up Sylvia DeRoche. She's the president of the Métis Association, to say a few words and to introduce our fiddler and jiggler. Jigger. What did I say? What did I say? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, okay. It's been a long day.
Hadi, Tanishe, Tansiki Owav. Hello, everyone. Well, I'm very honored to be on this territory of Lheidli on behalf of our Métis people. We honor you for allowing us to live, work, and play on your land, and we acknowledge that. And we are honored to also be able to speak at this event, which should never even be happening. Missing and murdered has touched all of our lives. It has touched my life personally. I just recently, at the end of April, the granddaughter of my first cousin went missing. She went to a party with her friends and she never went home. Her family was the one who initiated her search, and they were the ones who found her deceased body. The friends at the party would never give up any information as to what happened with this young lady. Her name is Addison King. And so there'll be an ongoing investigation until they find the answers. But what has happened to our young children? What has happened to our people that they don't want to talk about things, that they don't want to, that they're more loyal to their so-called friends than they are to their friends? A lot has happened to our young people these days. A lot has happened to our people. And it needs to be fixed. But how do you fix it? How do you stop what's happening? It's a big question. But for all of you out there, if you, when it comes to tips, any little thing that you can remember about some event or some happening, any little thing could be one more piece to the puzzle of them finding out who did this to your loved one. Anything will help to heal our shattered hearts. Our hearts don't just break, they shatter. But just know that we agree with all of you. We don't know some of the people that are missing and murdered, but we grieve as well. And we wish we didn't, but we are all carrying a heavy load here. Now, it's my own personal belief that it's going to be the grandmothers, the great-grandmothers, the mothers, who are the ones that are going to have to stop being the survivors and will have to start becoming the warriors. We are warriors. All of us here are warriors. And we need to bring that forward. I will fight for you, and I hope you will fight for me. But let's all fight for our lost loved ones. We can do that together. Hi. Except. Now, I have with me Rainey Gervais and Thomas Spence. We are Métis. We are Cree French Métis. And on behalf of our Métis people, we would like to play our Métis national dance song. And we would like to show Arts Jagan, and we are doing this on behalf of the missing and murdered.
I came to realize really, really fast that this isn't just a me problem. This isn't just a you problem. This is an everybody problem. And through the groundwork, as this campaign was done at a grassroots level, inviting in anybody and everybody that needed to be here. But along the way, many families would ask, what about my son? What about my brother? What about my dad? And even all of us on the board for a long time didn't know how to incorporate that, as the Prince George Red Dress Society's mandate is to bring awareness to murdered and missing women and girls. But we've always recognized men and boys count too, and men and boys go missing. One person in particular really touched us and has been a huge advocate for men and boys. And I want to bring attention to, for those of you that were at the monument today, that we incorporated a tree of ties to honor men and boys. It's important that we hold space for everybody because every life matters. I would like to welcome up Phyllis, please, Phyllis Fleury, because that tree, it was because of your advocacy, Phyllis, and your continuing asking, what about Colton? And I want to thank you for being a voice for men and boys, my friend.
Hi, everybody. My name is Phyllis Fleury, and I'm the mother of Colton Fleury. And even to this day, it still hurts to say his name, but he needs to be recognized. All our men need to be recognized. I asked the families if I could have these posters made up, and they agreed that we can do these posters and recognize our missing and murdered men. We have Luke Desjardins. He was gone on June 7th, 2007. We have Justin Jiggy Joseph. He was missing since April 2023. We have Perry Sebastian. He's been missing since December 26, 2011. We have Jay Rayfield. He's been missing since February 23rd, 2023. And we also have Barry Seymour, missing May 23rd, 2012. My son, Colton, went missing on May 3rd, 2018. And to this day, nobody has said anything about my son yet. There were a lot of rumors, and it is true, you know. This is my baby boy from my family. And you think, you know, I just want to be a normal person, but when you have a missing person and nobody wants to say nothing about it, you wake up each day and you struggle through that whole day. And not only is it just myself, but you know, the siblings. Nobody has ever thought about the siblings, you know. Colton's brother and sister are going through so much. All of them are, you know. Somebody has to say something about all these missing men, all the missing women. And I'd like to thank Lorna, my cousin, from Tears to Hope Society for making these posters available for all our men, you know. And she brings our families together each year, you know, to talk about it. Because we do need to talk about it. And it's, you know, that's healing. You know, it's not just a holiday. It's when the families get together and share what needs to be shared. And you know, we even get together and we put our tips together, and it's healing, and it puts our heart at ease when we can shed tears together. And you know, when she said Colton's name, it just hurts. It's really heart-wrenching. So I could just imagine all these men, all these women, all these girls, their mother, what they feel like, because I am this boy's mother. Somebody needs to speak up. Thank you. I also wanted to say, you know, I never do take away from the missing and murdered women, because Mona Wilson was one of the first 3 women that were in the Picton farm. When Colton was born, we ended up going to Vancouver and we saw Mona Wilson across the street. 2 weeks later, she was in the Picton farm, and that's Colton's auntie. So, you know, Colton's auntie, and now Colton's missing. My cousin Lorna started Tears to Hope Society for my cousin Tamara Chipman. You know, never once did I think that I would be this involved, but here I am speaking for the men, and thank you, Mayor, you for recognizing the men and boys. Thank you.
Our next guest is formed the Tears to Hope Society, advocating not only for family members, but of other families. Can we please welcome Lorna Brown?
Denise 8, Skies 8, Zackles 8. My name is Lorna Brown, and I am Wet'suwet'en. I am the founder of the Tears to Hope Society. My journey with advocacy for missing and murdered women, girls, boys, and men started when my niece, Tamara Chipman, went missing in Prince Rupert. This is my niece Tamara. On September 21st, it will be 20 years. It marks 20 years since she went missing. She was hitchhiking out of Prince Rupert, and she was never seen again, so we haven't found her. It is presumed that she was murdered, and to this day we're no closer to getting answers than when we first started back on that first day on that she went missing. And since then I founded the Tears to Hope Society, and the question was asked is, what do we do about this issue? So I'm just thankful to the Prince George Red Dress Society. These women have become my sisters. We have been there to support each other throughout these years, and it's just a real honor to know you all. And you know, it's a family that nobody wants to be a part of, but here we are, you know, 20 years later, 30 years later, 10 years, 5 years, with no answers for our loved ones. One of the things that Tears to Hope Society has been focusing on is prevention. We are working on a toolkit that teaches our young people about safety. It's a toolkit that allows you to walk in a person's shoes so that you can make choices that are going to keep you safe. And so you can keep an eye out on our page, tearstohopesociety.com. We host a lot of events. We're based in Terrace, but we do support families all along the Highway of Tears. I want to acknowledge the work that Brenda and her mom, Matilda, were doing. Like, I remember hearing about when Ramona went missing 31 years ago. And, you know, she was the same age as my daughter. And, you know, we do this work, and you never ever think it's going to happen to you. But then we quickly realize how many people are affected, how many families are affected by missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, and boys and men too. And, you know, it's just way too many. And I believe that as aunties and mothers, fathers, uncles, like, we need to be able to keep our kids safe, our children safe, and our grandchildren. And we have to, sadly, we have to be so vigilant about the safety of our children. We need to know where they are at all times. And I do believe it's the grassroots people. You know, I always say that, you know, the government is not going to help us, you know, keep our children safe. It has to start with us. It has to start in the family, and to be teaching our kids, sadly, that this is a reality that our children face. And I just want to say again, thank you, especially if you're not a family member that's here supporting the issue of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, boys and men. My hands are raised to you for coming out and, you know, making a difference and supporting the families that are here. If you want to know anything else about our society, we do help with posters. Like, if somebody is looking for resources for printing, we do have some funds available for that, and we do try to help and support in any way we can. I just want to say Masai for coming out today, and thank you to the Red Dress Society of Prince George. Yeah, it means a lot to have that support. And I don't know if anybody's in the Prince Rupert area, but we are having a walk from Terrace to Prince Rupert on September 18th to the 21st to mark the anniversary of when my niece Tamara went missing. And you'd be welcome to walk a mile if you'd like. And I just want to say again a big thank you to Brenda and Maddie. Our first walk back in 2006 was for the Highway of Tears, and my cousin Florence wanted to do something, and Maddie and Brenda had already been walking for 10 years for Ramona. And when my niece went missing, my cousin my cousin Florence wanted to do something, and so she started the very first walk. And that's how we all got involved together, is that walk started from Prince Rupert to Terrace, and then it was decided we'd go to Prince Rupert, or to Smithers, because Maddie was planning a walk to Prince George. And because in the meantime, Alea Auger was murdered. A 14-year-old girl from Prince George. She was murdered, and that's when there was a symposium held here in Prince George, and but that was the very first, the naming of the Highway of Tears, and here we are 20 years later. And I know Brenda will probably speak to the symposium a little bit later, but that's our involvement, and yeah, so I, again, Ms. I for your time and attention and just being here for support for all of the families, and I want to acknowledge my cousin Phyllis for her work in advocacy for the men and boys, and also Prince George Red Dress Society for recognizing the men to Ms. I.
We want to call upon Matilda Wilson, also known as Maddie, and Mom, and the rock and roll auntie. The best hats ever in the world.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming. This is a very important event. Everyone should know that you have a loved one in your families. And if they were to be missing and never found, you'd know how it would be. It's very hard to try and keep living every day because part of you is gone. One of your family members are gone, and you'll hope that will never happen, but it still happens today. So that's why I'm here to tell you that you have to be very careful. This message is for the young girls and the men and the boys. Always make sure that there's always somebody beside you. If you know there's a lot of strange people beside you, someone might be after you, you don't know. So always be with someone that you know, because they can just disappear just like that. It really happens. I can remember a lady recalling when they were at a bar and they were going to go to a friend's place, and then she was just going to talk to her sister to let her know where she's going to be, and all of a sudden she was gone just like that. She just turned her head around and her sister was gone, and did they find her that time? They found her and she was murdered. And that was how fast it went. And I don't want to put a damper on anything, but this is very important for all families, that you always be aware, especially on weekends, of all your family members, to make sure you know where they're at, because you don't want anything to happen to any of your family members. And I want to say that I really appreciate the Red Dress Society for always being here and organizing everything, and organizing to let people know there's still a lot of loved ones that are not found, and the ones that are found and murdered, their murder cases are not solved. As also for my daughter, it's been 31 years now since they had found her on April 10th, 1995, and they have never found the killer or killers. She was found behind the Smithers Airport. That's how far they had taken her, and till to this day, I don't know if they'll ever solve it or not, but I tell my family not to give up. We always have hope, and we pray a lot, and that's the same thing for the family members. Their missing loved ones are still not found. I could imagine what you're going through, because I went through it for 10 months, and it was very difficult. There was no sleep, and you can't eat, and that's the way it is. You live through it every day. And I think of these families every day, and I pray for you. I pray for all the families. And you know, we did a walk in June. My daughter and some of the Leighton staff. Maybe Brenda can tell you about that. It was quite the walk, because at my age I thought I'd never make it, but I made it from Prince George to Burns Lake. I'm 75 years old. Thank you. And this walk is especially for the victims' families, because you know we always have to get together every maybe every 3 months or every 6 months. We all of us should get together, and that's what I want, because it's hard going through this yourself, and you know, I think sometimes we're forgotten. That's what I think sometimes, you know, but I'm glad all these organizations every year they let people know. They let people know that they're still missing, and we have to do something about it. And I'll get my daughter to talk about the walk. Thank you.
Well, yes, she deserves all the applause in the world. I'm very proud of my mom, Matilda Wilson, Maddie. She has been very inspirational in doing a lot of the advocacy and doing walks and standing in front of the crowds and telling her story, because it's not an easy thing to do. One of the reasons she wanted to do this last walk, because she didn't think she'll be able to do any more walks after this. So we honored her wish and we did the walk. So the very first day she outdid us. And then after that, it was downhill for all of us. We had blisters on our feet that were the size of toonies, maybe even bigger. And it was, I don't know why, but this walk seemed the hardest that we've done with any other walk in all these years. And maybe it was because we were carrying the burdens of so many families that have been missing or have been murdered on that highway. And usually we come from the other direction, but this time we were going home, and it seemed very, very heavy. We faced a lot of obstacles along the way. You know, there was only a few of us. There was 3 or 4, and we had some people come from Vancouver, and they joined us, but only for a short time. And others came out and joined us for very short spurts. But I want to put my hands up to Lorna, who came all the way. She just was on holidays. She went home, and then she came all the way back to Burns Lake. Woohoo! Way to go, Lorna. Thank you so much for all your help. It was amazing. And also to Walter Abraham, who was also walking at that same time, and was doing a walk all the way to Prince Rupert, and he actually walked part of the way for us from Burns Lake to Smithers, so we appreciate him as well. And a huge thank you to Karisakani Family Services, who always was there for us. Any kind of events that we did, they support the walk every year. And then also the FILU, the Family Information Liaison Unit, who has been assisting with the walks as well. So on behalf of my mom and my family, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that has been a support all these years.
Hello everybody. Good afternoon, relatives, leaders, and community members. We gather here today with heavy hearts and unshakable spirits. We gather to speak for those who no longer speak for themselves, for the missing and murdered Indigenous women, and for the missing Jack family, whose absence is still deeply felt in our lives and in our community. This crisis of MMIW is not just numbers. It's not just statistics. It's our mothers, our daughters, our sisters, our cousins. It's our families being torn apart and our communities left grieving. Our women are sacred. They are life givers, the teachers, the carriers of our culture, and our strength. When one is taken, our whole nation feels the wound. The Jack family was loved. They laughed, they worked, they dreamed, and they were part of a fabric of who we are. Their disappearance is not just a personal loss, it is a community loss, an open wound that has not healed. Their absence reminds us of a system that has failed us time and time again. Too often our people go missing. The urgency is not there. The silence is louder than the answers, and the justice is far away. But today, as we speak their names and remember their lives, we send a clear message. We have not forgotten, and we will never forget. They want us divided. They want us broken. They want us to give up. But we refuse. We lift each other up because love always wins. We are only 5% of this land now, but our existence is the resistance. Every breath we take, every song we sing, every time we gather, we prove that we survive. To the families still searching, still waiting, still grieving, you are not alone. Your pain is our pain. Your loss is our loss. Your fight is our fight. And we will not stop until the truth is known, until justice is delivered, until every relative missing is brought home. We gather today not just to mourn, but to rise as one people, to rise for our women, our families, and our future. We will not be silent, and we will not back down. To the missing Jack family, to our stolen sisters, we honor you, we remember you, and we promise we will never stop speaking your name, never stop fighting for justice, and never stop demanding for change. Thank you.
Thank you, Masai. We call upon Loretta John, and also we want to call upon Carrie Sakani Family Services to finish off the speeches.
Just lift my hands up to you, ladies. The work that you do. Hare Sundo. My name's Wia Omani Washke. That's my First Nations name given to me by my Sundance chief. Scaluse. His name is Reuben George. What I want to share is about why some of our women and children go missing or murdered. It's when we have to put up with the bullying right from our own people and school. My granddaughter, who's going into grade 4 this year, because she's First Nation and part East Indian, she gets bullied a lot by our own people. They call her Blackie, street rat, and I seen her sitting at her mom's house, and she was broken. And I told my daughter, I talked to the principal at Nazeo, I said, I don't want her to keep carrying this discrimination, racial profiling. She's just little. I don't want her to grow up thinking that she's not worthy or she should commit suicide, because that's how their spirits get broken. Or they just don't believe in themselves, so they just start drinking and hoping that somebody will be their friend. And then they turn out to be your friend. The jealousy amongst our own people is so alive, and it's so hurtful. I've been on the Red Road for this September will be 16 years. But, you know, like I lost my daughter in Vancouver because these dealers sold her drugs and she OD'd. As a mom, you forget to celebrate life. Always thinking that, what could I have done better? And now to witness it with my granddaughter, like we need to talk about how it needs to change. In the neighborhood, this little boy, I don't know, I told him, I said, you're not a bad person, but your behavior is. Because I don't want him to carry thinking that he's bad. I said, I don't know what's going on at home, but if you're being hurt, and then you come out and take it out on the kids. It's that they just want to be your friend, but you're so angry that you're so hurtful. We just got to help them change that thought, you know, and tell them that, you know, like, I'm here to, like, take care of our neighborhood. You know, like, just because we live in the hood, you hear, like, I live in the hood, right? But it doesn't, like, it's your home. It's your home, so we have to change that thought. You know, my granddaughter who lost her mom, I finally won custody of her from the MCFD. This is all colonized. You wonder why some moms or some parents struggle. My grandparents went to residential school, and my parents, and they never got to share their story because they all drank themselves to death. And I became an alcoholic. I worked and I raised my 3 daughters. And it was my 2 youngest ones that, oh, Mom, you always say you're gonna quit. And that really hit home for me. So I had to change that. My grandchildren have never seen me drunk or smoke pot or do drugs. But I said, you know, there's days when it's so overwhelming when you just wish you could hear your child one more time. She was a great mom, took care of her daughter and bought her needs and took care of me while I worked and always made sure I had a lunch. Now it's just my oldest daughter and my youngest daughter who's still on the downtown east side. And her children are struggling. Why doesn't my mom love me? Why doesn't my dad love me? It's the drugs. They love you, but they just can't let go of the drugs. That drug spirit is strong. And it takes away from family. I met my sister in treatment, and she was one of the murdered sisters on Picton's farm. And that year, before she went missing, her family just found her back east. And she was in the foster care system. And then they were coming to Vancouver to get her. And I shared with them, I said, I wasn't raised with her, but I did go to treatment with her, and she shared her story, and I just want to share with you guys what she shared. Like Auntie was saying, it's really important to listen to our families. Even if they're struggling, like we have family members on the streets, and they always ask for the first thing is, do you have money? You know? I always help my cousin because I grew up with him and he grew up with me. His late mom was murdered on Airport Hill by a drunk driver. She got 3 months. You know, it's so frustrating that the RCMP and the Canadian government still don't really open their eyes on all these sisters. What is it called? The Band-Aid treatment? You know, it's just like this whole, like, because our families feel lost or hurt because how the effects of residential school, the 60 scoop, the sexual abuse. Like my grandparents and parents were hurt by priests and nuns. My generation, I was hurt by my aunties and uncles and grandparents, you know, and nobody wants to share that. But it's important because why should we keep carrying it? Abuse is abuse. And I share with my grandchildren because I don't want them to be afraid not to share. It wasn't their fault, but they still hurt. They still hurt a loved one. And Nina Joseph, I grew up with her here in Prince George. She was from Fort St. James. She had 4 sisters. And she was murdered by 2 First Nations men from her village. She was 15. You know, like, that was so long ago. And how the PG report, oh, she was a streetwalker? Like, screw that. She was a person. She was somebody's daughter. She was my friend. Like, you can't talk about people like that. So I just pray that, you know, the schools and the organizations and MCFD, when these children are in elementary and they're being racial profiled and we see it, just say something. Like, what the hell are you doing? That's like dysfunctional behavior, right? Like, we just say, that's not nice. Like, we gotta show them a healthier way to change. Because I always picture my granddaughter sitting there so broken. I'm okay, Grandma. I'm okay. No, baby, you're not. You're not okay. They look at all these pictures and how their families love them. You know, my sister here is so strong, like, she's married to my brother. And she loves him, right? But it's like, it's to see, like, no matter what, they still hold on to each other and walk through life. So I'm just asking everybody, please, let's not make these children who are in school today, in elementary, high school, or college, or university, let's stand up for them and let them say, we care and we love you. You don't have to go alone. You don't have to accept the racial profiling. You know, thank you.
Thank you, Loretta, for bringing up that topic. It's unspoken words, and it's very true. We need to talk more about it. And on behalf of the Red Dress Society, we'd also like to offer you a journey blanket, just to know that you're not alone. And we pray that you will be that voice for your granddaughter, and for many of our granddaughters that are out there facing the same issues. We'd like to... Okay. we'd like to call upon the UHNBC drum group. Yeah. Just as to lighten our spirits. Yes. What we've been hearing today is pretty heavy, and if you need to reach out, we have IRSS here who is they're in the green shirts. I see Norma in the back there. Jump up and down, and Christine, both out there if you need to talk or you just need a smudge, because it's pretty heavy, I know. And so we have the UHNBC drum group here to do some songs for us to lift our spirits.
Hi, we're the UHNBC Prince George Traditional Drummers. We're going to sing Wendy Aho. It was arranged by Rita Coolidge. This is a song of spiritual connection and identity. It expresses the sense of belonging to the Great Spirit and is rooted in Cherokee language and spirituality.
Yeah.
So the first song they're going to do is Wet'suwet'en Women's Water Song. And this was a song that was created by Molly Wickham, who is Wet'suwet'en. Her traditional name is Slado, and she is a woman, along with quite a few other women, that came together to try to protect the lands, the Gidimt'en territory, and they were confronted with the RCMP, who tried to take them off the land. And this is just recently. This isn't 100 years ago. This happened like a couple years ago, and it's still happening today. So we're still standing up for each other and trying to stand up for our rights as Indigenous people, to ensure that there are lands that will be available for our future generations, and that we have safe places to go, that we're not taken down every day in the cities that were created by colonialism. We need places where we can go, where we can rebuild our hearts, where we can live off the land. But it's always a fight to get there. We always have to be confronted when we don't have the freedom of just going onto our lands. So that's why we have these land defenders who are trying to stand up for, who, not trying, they are standing up for our rights. And you know, it's something that's very beautiful, but is quite the struggle as well. So the Kestan drummers are gonna start off with the Wet'suwet'en Women's Water Song.
Way you.